Welcome back. You probably know from personal experience that different people, of course, learn in different ways. Some need to see it, some need to hear it, and some may need to touch it. Knowing which type of learner your child actually is could help them get a jump start in school. Well, Nancy Brydle owns Tutor Doctor. It's a business that can help you figure out what type of learner your child actually is. Good morning, Nancy. Thanks for being with us.
Karen, thank you for having me.
All right, well, we're just chatting about this. Very interesting. How many different types of learners do we have? What kinds are there out there?
There's basically three types of learners, those being auditory, visual, and kinesthetic, hearing, visual, and doing. So it's really important to understand what type of learner your child is and work with them in concert with their learning style to improve their grades.
Okay.
So with a child that is an auditory learner, they are ones that tend to hear very well. They like to listen to things. They like to repeat things. They like to read out loud even if they're all by themselves. They're very good with word association. So you want to use rhyming techniques with them to help them learn. They like to listen to things, so use DVDs with them, CDs, tape recorders.
And I thought it was really interesting. I said, an iPod, really?
Yeah.
You know, but you said actually some kids really do learn well while listening to music.
Definitely. The kinesthetic learner is one that just can't sit still. They move around all the time. Sometimes we think they're hyperactive. So oftentimes we want to give them a stress ball, have them chew gum, have them listen to music, and have them do experiments. Field trips are good things to help them. With very young children, use a puppet. Help them learn with a puppet, because this way, since they don't have long attention spans, they look at the puppet and they don't realize that they're learning. And teach them in short spurts.
So really, where some parents were like, oh, you can't listen, you know, to pop music while you're doing math or reading or something along those lines, you're actually saying, no, some kids might learn better that way.
Exactly.
Wow.
And then with your visual learner, I am a visual learner. Oh my gosh. This is a prime example. I recently went to a conference, and you can see I took tons of notes, which is what a visual learner does. I highlight. I did this in college. I highlighted in all different colors, and then I rewrite my notes, and you can see where I've crossed out sections where I've rewritten my notes. So visual learners, very organized, tend to be good spellers, tend to remember faces versus names. They like to rewrite and rewrite and rewrite. They use symbols all the time. Flashcards are a good way to help them learn. So demonstrations are very good.
At what age maybe can we really identify what kind of learner our child is? I have a first grader, and you know, I'm just not sure yet. Is that too young?
No, there are several ways we can do that. And number one is paper plane exercise. This is wonderful. So have your child make a paper plane 3 different ways. One way is you tell them what to do. Another way is you write down the instructions and have them follow it. And lastly, you make the paper plane and have them make the paper plane. They will probably do well all 3 ways, but one of those ways will probably stand out.
If they copy what I just did, though, what kind of learner is that? Okay.
Tactical learner. Another way is take a group of children, put them in a circle. This is really good with young children. This is a memory exercise. Fill a pail with about 15 different items that represent hearing, visual, and doing things. Pass everything around, and then ask the children to recite what do they remember. You'll probably see a pattern.
Very interesting. I have to ask, you know, this seems so basic, really, you know, just 3 types of learners, and we do know our children are all different, of course. How did you get into this? How did you identify the different types of learners that might be out there?
Well, I opened up the Tutor Doctor business recently, and to me it's very important to match the tutor to the family. So I want to make certain that we understand what type of learner the child is, and I have an assessment that I can do that. And then I give this information to the tutor, and the tutor is trained in all of this, and then they work with the student in that way. So if we have a student that's very visual, the tutor will make certain that he tells the student, rewrite your notes, keep reading them over and over and over again. If it's a child that's kinesthetic, then he'll do short little spurts of teaching. So let's talk about this for 5 minutes, let's take a break. Let's do this, let's take a break. If it's an auditory student, then we'll go through, let's repeat this, let's memorize using rhymes, word association, and things of that nature.
All right, and real quick, how effective do you think this is in terms of their overall success in school with their studies?
Researchers have shown that understanding the learning style and working in concert with the learning style is one of the key, most important things to improving grades, as well as confidence and attitudes in schools.
Yeah, self-confidence a biggie as well overall. All right, well, you can reach Nancy at her website. It's tutorsouthwestmn.com. or by calling 952-445-6198. Nancy, thanks so much for being with us.
Thank you, Karen. I appreciate it.